Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Journey to Mustang Magic 2024. This episode is going to take you through hours 5 to about 16. I did not get as much of a play-by-play as I wanted to. I didn't get as many firsts as I wanted to. I actually don't even have videos of everything we've done. So this is a short intro. Stay for the end. I'll recap. I'll let you know what we're up to, even the things that didn't get caught in the video. But for now, let's jump right in and check out what's going on with my Mustang Magic mare. Okay, we're probably about to the 5-hour mark here. Just gonna show some fly spraying here. The flies this year are stinking biting. We had that rain and they are biting, so it's pretty good. One thing, like for me, I don't get up there and start petting them a ton. Like, I haven't personally been up here and like to her withers like that very much. Like, I've petted her a lot with my flag, but you can see she's pretty flinchy. And one of the things I call it is proximity. So when I'm getting them good with like the flag and stuff, my body's further away. I'm still gonna have to show them that when I come in here close, it's okay. And that's kind of the stage we're at. What did I say? We're at the 5-hour mark. We're gonna start really working on me getting up in there and getting more of my hands on her while I'm close to her. This right side's a little worse. If she gets a little unsure, I step away, move the hip over, if I can get it here, try to get back in the frame. She's kind of wanting to pivot, which is good for performance stuff later. Wants to put her weight on that hind end, set it up and do it again. Good, good. So she's just a little touchy right there, so I might just desensitize to my arm right here. She's good with the flag right there. So let me show you the flag at this stage. With this flag, I'd like to be able to approach her with it, pat her body, go down the back leg. Let me see where you're at. I'll take you out of the way. I'll go to the belly here, down to the girth, down the front leg, up the front leg, under the chin. Good. She's just a little unsure, but she's starting to figure out she can stand here for that. This side's not quite as good. I want to make sure this motion is good. The sound, the sight, and the feel right there. Down the right hind, back up to the back, down the flank, the belly, the girth, the front leg. This is her worst spot, is this right front leg. That was really good. Good. I want to start making sure I can do this stuff over here, under here. There you go, that blind spot under the chin. She's not liking that thing disappear. We're gonna have to do a lot of that. So it's a good, Spanish walk. Here we come, boys. All right. If they run at you when they do that, make sure you get out of the way. There we go. I just waited for that expression to change. I like that little move for, we'll probably teach this one the Spanish walk, because she's kind of got a natural, you see her mouth's a little bit frothy, and earlier when I was working her, she didn't want to lick and chew. She's kind of locked up in the jaw, so whatever reason, it got her just, and it's just on this side, just a little bit. It's not too bad, but if they don't figure out how to lick and chew, I start sticking my thumb in their mouth and help them learn to lick and chew. And so I haven't stuck my thumb in her mouth yet. The first time you do it, you gotta be a little cautious. Some are a little sensitive there, so when you get that nose a little better, and you know, then they know some of this stuff, they know not to strike at that, then it's a little safer to start playing up close with that stuff. So okay, I believe we're about 7 hours in. We're working on sending over the tarp here. So I could have cut this next part out. She smells the tarp, and then what you'll see is you'll see the wind blow it up. And I just hang out, watch to see what she does, and then I'd ask her to go over it. It's a bit of a test after she's seen it move like that, and the wind could still blow it as she's going over it. So I feel like this next part just kind of shows a bit of her natural disposition, you know, how relaxed she walks over that tarp, does that really nice. And then this next part, we set a barrel up, and it's a pretty good squeeze right there between the barrel, the fence, and going over the tarp. Obviously, we did the barrel and the fence separately first, and she just rolls right through there. Here she stops, and I thought this was another good spot where it just shows her natural disposition, being a little curious, not too worried, wanting to smell that barrel. And then when I do ask her to move, she doesn't blow out of there. She just walks out. And then here we're just fly spraying her at Liberty. You know, the flies have been so bad, I've mentioned it a lot, and I thought that was a neat little video where she's kind of figured out what that fly spray is, and she really likes it. We're about 13 and a half hours in, maybe just under, somewhere around there. Working on the tarp. I've already done a bunch of work with it. This isn't like a how to teach you the tarp, this is kind of where we're at. She's still a little unsure. She walks over it very confidently. I'm trying to get her where I come up here and be kind of crazy with it. Good. I don't be too careful with it, because then, and I start out a little careful with it, show them it's okay. Good. There, she remembered. There we go. There we go. Oh, she's remembering. Good. Okay, we're right about 15 hours in, and we got something going decent that I almost never do before I ride them. I got her picking up her feet a little bit. Oh yeah, that was pretty good. Nice. Little stiff there. Good. I'll put my knee in it. Good. There we go. It's a little stiff in that back one. We haven't done it very many times without a rope, so I'm going a little slow. And the flies are yet again bad for us here. Good. Good. She's still in frame. I'll pull her up a little. And of course the right hind, always the worst one for whatever reason. Oh. Hey now. There we go, that was better. Oh, the flies. That's why. And flies are bugging her. We're practicing saddling, throwing the saddle on and off, and I just found her itchy spot for the first time. It is a little muggy out here. Oh yeah. You've been sweating and oh yeah. I have been looking for a spot just like this one. Oh yeah. There we go. Good girl. Okay, episode 3 recap. Let's start with what's probably going to be the most controversial, which is I was standing behind her. She was hard-tied. I was waving a flag, swinging a lunge whip, and cracking a whip. I want to address this right now because I know some people are going to be upset about that, and I want to talk about it. I call it desensitizing while tied up. I'm going to tell you why I do it. Because when you take your horse somewhere and they're tied to the trailer, or maybe you're holding them, it doesn't matter, but things are going to happen out of your control. When those things happen, your horse needs to listen to the lead rope. That's how we keep them safe. So I set those situations up at home. I stand behind them, I crack a whip. That's just like a car backfiring. That's just like a gunshot. We get a lot of gunshots here in Texas. The lunge whip, when I do that one, well, you go somewhere with team ropers. They swing a rope, or kids swinging ropes. The flag, obviously, there's tons of flags places. So that for me is preparation. And I do it hard-tied because I'm setting up a situation for them to learn the right answer, which is to stand and relax. First, they have to learn to stand. Then you can do it until they relax. And I'll work that every day for a little while, and it won't take very long because they figure it out really quick. So for anyone wondering about that, I call it desensitizing while tied up. I actually made a little video from the clips with her that I'm going to post in a YouTube video called Desensitizing While Tied Up. I've not made that yet, so probably will be done in the next day or two. I'm going to go over some timestamps. Now, first I want to apologize because I've done a poor job. This is my first time trying to timestamp this stuff, and I've not done a good job. Next time I'm going to have a little notebook. I'm going to try to catch more first or even second and third times I do things, because the reason I didn't catch the first, because it takes longer. The first time you do something, that might be a long process, but by the third time you can show that your horse is doing it and you're not that much more time in. So just to talk about some of the timestamps you've seen, or times things were done in this video. Picking up all 4 feet. Well, I guess before that we had started petting the withers around the 5-hour mark. Around between 7 and 8 hours, I started sending her over the tarp. She got pretty good at that. I actually did the barrel between the fence first. She was really good at that, didn't care, which was surprising. Hour 9, got all 4 feet picked up with a rope. Probably around hour 14 or 15 is when we were doing it without the rope, and I felt fairly confident. That was the 3rd time I'd picked up all 4 feet, or worked on it. So that wasn't just the 3rd time, it was the 3rd session of it. What you don't see, where's the tarp? She wore the tarp around the 13-hour mark. That took a little doing. She was very unhappy with the tarp, but it's worth it. That is a worthy thing to get good at for the horse. Things you didn't see in the video. Tied up both front feet individually, obviously not at the same time. That was around the 15-hour mark. Hobbled around 15 and a half hours. Saddled 15 hours, right around there. So I saddled her before I hobbled her. So sometimes you get them good with the hobbles and then you saddle them afterwards. Sat on her bareback around 15 and a half hours. I thought I captured that. I guess I didn't. So those are some things we'll have to throw in episode 4. Let's talk about another controversial thing that you just heard. Tying up the front feet. Why would someone do that? Again, it's preparation. If they get their foot hung up in the fence, there's so many things that can happen with horses that I just try to get them ready for. I try to set up scenarios in a controlled environment so my horse knows how to think through a tough situation. When you take a foot and you chicken wing it up and tie it like this, they can't make friction. So when you hobble feet together and they can do this, that's when hair gets rubbed off. So when you tie one up like this and they move around, pretty much they move around, and as soon as they saddle, I untie it. Then I do the other side. They move around, they saddle, I untie it. Once they understand, and I've already softened that foot with the rope, so they soften first, then I tie it up, then they learn, okay, I have to stand on 3 legs, then I can hobble them together with a very soft cotton rope. People don't like stuff like that, but for me, that's a very real situation,
that I'm trying to help my horse understand how to think through before I even ride him. And I normally actually don't do it before I ride him, but it helps a ton, because once you've had a rope around their belly and tie their front foot up, some people tie it up around the foot. I take it around the belly because I know it won't come off. Sometimes if it's tied around here, they'll open it and they'll push that rope off, and so I don't want that to happen, so I go around their belly. Now they're good with the girth. So before I've saddled them, they got good with the girth, and I checked that too before I tied the foot up. So it's just, people don't like to do these things, and that's why I didn't share video of it, is because they just think it's like abusive. And then they'll take a horse to town that's scared of everything, has no preparation. If it got hung up, it would probably kill itself, because it gets hung up and it's, in a hard area. It's like, I'm doing it in soft spots. I'm doing it when they're tired. I'm setting up this situation for them to get the right answer. I'm the professional. That's the other reason I didn't share it, because I'm not telling you guys to do this stuff. I'm only sharing what I'm doing. If you've never done that and you think, man, I had a horse hurt itself because it didn't know that and I'd like to learn that, get with somebody. It doesn't have to be me. There's plenty of people that do this and know how to do this and keep a horse safe through it. Get with them and say, I'd like to see how you do that. And for most of us, it's a process. And so you got to get the belly good, you got to get the foot soft, you got to set things up in a way that you keep the horse safe while they're learning something new. So that's what we're up to. I'm going to try a little harder in the next few episodes to capture just more footage for you guys to see what's going on. It's raining again. And the other thing I wish I would have done is, with the hours, I wish I would have wrote the day. So today is Saturday. So it's morning. So the last day that we have footage that you just watched is on Friday. I started last Friday. So that's how far we're a week in. Today is, a week and a day. I do think it would be better if I would have wrote the day and the hours, and also if I did it as I was going. But I get a little caught up in the moment and not enjoying sometimes, or also focusing others. I'm focused and I'm trying to get this horse to understand, and then I move to the next thing, and then spray him off, and then tie him up, and then I think I should have filmed some of that. So anyways, thank you guys for watching episode 3. I will get to work on episode 4. I will try to make it even better than this one. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.